This
can
man
agree
on
with
this
that. To be
podcast for
honest.
3 minutes. 3 minutes. And he disappointed me more than any boy ever disappointed me on this podcast before.
Nah.
Who's that? Calling him.
Hakeem Simmons. That's what they're talking about. I don't understand how he's speaking about Embiid in such a manner talking about LeBron at age 36. It could be such a physical
37,
force.
37, 37.
Even worse to go up against him. Come on, man. Come on. And
That speaks to the greatness of LeBron.
Yo, listen.
never the greatest of LeBron, but LeBron's physicality cannot compare to Embiid's at this point, this moment in time. Come on, you talk about my past his prime, going up against a 7 foot center. Come on, bro.
Past his prime, he's actually in
The
the
boy has been in the league for 18 years.
he's running for possibly MVP. If his team was in a better position, if the Lakers was in a better position, he's playing at an all-time high level. He's averaging like 30 points for the last 10 games. He is playing at an incredible level. He just has little to no help. He can't he can't attack and defend.
But we're talking about pound for pound right now. Embiid going up against LeBron. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about
First thing LeBron do that 3-point and fake you. Yeah, I mean,
You mentioned that.
Now we step back. That's what we're talking about.
But that's one of the most elite moves I ever see. But it's just so dumb funny to me. This man do this move every single time, and these niggas is always fall for it. Like, what the hell? Like, you can't do any better. You can't guard that. You know, for the time you see he look down, you know what coming. You know what coming. But
you already got his pick right.
Exactly.
So, no, you got his pick already.
Man, yeah,
you just need a little bit. Not easy. So, you guys feel that Embiid, given what he's been doing so far in the league for the last 10 plus games, you think he could carry it forward, or you think that there's just like a little phase that he in right now? And
match got stop. It's very, very rare that a player can carry that sort of form straight through into playoffs and past playoffs or anything like that. No, they got.
How much more games you think you can give him though?
Nah, I feel like Embiid has the capability to be as dominant as he's showing to be for extended stretches of time. The only issue,
but he can get tired though.
Yeah, that's the
only
issue
got
with
certain
him.
Teams that can wear he out and stuff like that. So.
The only issue with him is injuries. That is everybody's thing with Embiid. Embiid is finding somewhere to get injured. He always got some sort of little knock or something or the other that stop him from being the player that he could be, and that has been the case for him for so long now. That's why, like last year he was in MVP conversation when the season started. He was going berserk, injury right out to the end. He still end up second in MVP voting, but that just set him back and the team back to a certain extent from having that groove that they would have started the season with. But nonetheless, I mean, he couldn't predict that Ben Simmons would play the way that he played in the playoffs either. But
yeah.
But we need a bad Ben Simmons from this conversation altogether.
Yeah, it's tired of hearing the name until I just want to hear the name and he actually get traded. Like, I don't want to hear anything else truthfully. Like,
yeah, we in trouble later for Ben Simmons, but Embiid though, he's been playing to answer your question. So he's been playing at all-time high level right now for these last 10 games, and I believe it's possible we could carry that for him possibly to the end of the regular season, but with Embiid's history, knock on wood.
That's a long time, bro.
It is a long time.
I mean, outside the injury, you got wear and tear, right? You got players that can see that he in form and that he trying to, maintain it. And they got certain teams that physical, like Cavaliers. Cavaliers got some good guys, good defensive players that could wear he down, right? So, I mean,
Cavaliers.
Yeah.
Cavaliers.
Yeah.
But
what do you mean?
Embiid,
Cavaliers that's a good tier.
He needs help.
That's a good tier. The Cavaliers
the
start
Cavaliers?
3-7-footers.
Yeah.
3-7-footers. Let me start 3-7-footers.
So Cody, I know that you think that this can stop almost abruptly. So how much longer you giving Joel to maintain this streak that he got going right now?
15 games. I think it's a 15-game max, and then you can see a fall off.
So 5 more games.
I ain't saying exactly that he can become all of a sudden trash. He can't play the basket, but it's not going to be as efficient as he is currently.
It's not going to be 30 points. Deal.
Nah.
That's fair. How much time you giving him, Rayvon?
I feel like he could carry on barring injury. I feel like he could carry on. Let's say until it was a good time about April. April, yeah.
That was a long time.
Yeah, I think
When
he
is
can do
when is
that.
the All-Star break? All-Star break
All-Star
is
break
when?
is next month, February.
That's it.
But the thing is too, right? Like just want to say something. When I have Steph Curry that was shooting real hot earlier this season or whatever, that last about 15 to 20 game span, and then like he cool right now.
Yeah, but I
And
don't think
that just happened for a lot of players. So I don't understand why we all of a sudden feel like Embiid is that guy.
But the thing about
Because
it is the way
Embiid
that
plays.
exactly the way that he gets his points is totally different from that. Embiid
Yeah.
is live at the free throw lane. Like nobody can literally guard him, physically guard him. So everybody always follow him. Embiid could end a game with more free throws than your team has ever shot. You know how many games Embiid come and shoot 20 something free throws and the other team only shoot 11 or 15 or something like that. Or he got just as much free throws as the whole team that he playing
Fair,
against. Like
fair.
Yeah, he posts up. He would post up a bit as well. He can.
Yeah.
He can.
Well,
Yeah,
that's his bread and butter.
yeah.
He posts
But
up.
he likes to shoot the three. He likes to
He
shoot the
does.
three ball as well. He really does. And he shoots it pretty well for a big man as well.
Yeah, he really does.
I mean, he's definitely in the conversation for MVP, but we can get to that a little bit later in the stream. I want to talk about him versus Jokic because Jokic had a spell as well early on where he was carrying his team. Where do you think these two guys match up as big players in their respect?
Let me
right now?
just put this over here. Off the rip we can talk about MVP, but I just point out here since you talk about Jokic, I feel like Jokic is my MVP so far for the season.
A team that's above 500.
He's had little to no help for that team. He's been seriously carrying the offense, like on top of scoring.
Before you continue,
Yeah,
Hakeem, the way we rate MVP over here is a little bit different from how people generally rate MVP, right? So we don't talk about the team performance as a whole. We talk about the value that the player brings to the team, whether they win or lose, or whatever position.
In that case, then you better give it to Shea on Oklahoma.
Oh, you making sport? Don't come with that
Nah,
stupid talk. No
stop.
way.
Stop.
Don't come with that. There's no way.
Stop.
No way.
When playing, he
She
balling.
good, but she ain't on that sort of level.
Balling.
Putting she and Jokic in the same conversation, that's
Nah,
absolute
stop.
tyranny. I do
Oh
not know.
my, you need a winning performance.
Like,
Correct. Bloody whistle too handsome. But
This is the wildest man we ever had.
it's true. Like, come
We
on,
never
man.
call a timeout yet.
It's true. It's true. There's no
But
way.
yeah, I mean, Jokic is that guy though. Like he's definitely had to carry the team a lot.
Yeah.
And I got a side with Raybon on this. I think Jokic is right now. I think Embiid got some catching up to do to match what Jokic has already done.
Mhm.
So that's my take on it. I don't know if anybody got any other views on that.
I mean, at the end of the day, right? Jokic may not have a lot of help, but you can almost say the same for Embiid. I think Jokic is not as skilled as Embiid in shoot. Well, he's a better shooter, but he's not as skilled as Embiid in general. And
Someone need to discipline this man. Someone need to discipline this
You
man.
have to factor in the performance of the team. I don't say this team. Devon Nuggets is 23-1, 2 games over 500. You know what 76ers record? 26-19.
Dog,
26.
dog, that is so inaccurate in so many ways in terms of how you're perceiving this game.
Embiid
First of all, Jokic is way more skilled than Embiid. You see what this man passing? This man passing like he's Chris Paul on
That's one.
as a big.
Passing
I
is
don't
one.
understand.
Passing is one attribute of the game.
Yes, it's one attribute of the game, but that helps levitate the team essentially. That elevates the team's offensive ceiling by a long shot. This man
I agree.
averaging
To 23 and 21. To 23 and 21. I agree. To 23 and 20.
No, not at all. This man
Elevation.
is without the two best players, the two next best players on the team.
Jamal Murray
And
is
he was Ben Simmons and a
I
struggling.
don't oh my god, that helping.
Exactly.
That helping very well, Ben Simmons.
We promise not to talk with this man, but
Don't underestimate Ben. Ben is a quality player. Ben has made the All-Star team. Everything's been
but he
elite.
quality where he quality at home. So
Rookie of the year. Rookie of the year too.
But he out by choice though. He not out by injury. Jamal Murray out by injury. Michael Porter Jr. out by injury. Two of the Nuggets
After
best.
Doc Rivers,
best
Doc
players.
Rivers said what he said, and Embiid said what he said, Ben Simmons was not going to play for that team.
I normally we back at Ben Simmons again. Look, guys, Guys, this is my only question. This is my only conversation. We talking about Jokic and Embiid as individual players and how them assist them team
I
and
just
Let's
want
take Embiid
Hakeem.
getting
over Jokic.
dubs.
Hakeem, Jokic had until last 45 games, he might have triple doubles. He might score 49 points with two games ago or something
Yeah,
like that.
they last game that they played, thing.
Last game,
49
right?
point triple double
Come
for the
on,
win.
That
man. He got a
was
skill. He might the second most rebounds in the league so far with 13.1, averaging 13.1 rebounds a
Are
game.
they? And he's probably top 10 in assists
Man, they flashy, but the
and
man
top 10 in
effective.
points. Come
Yeah.
on, man.
Exactly.
Come on, doubt.
Man, they flashy, but he effective.
And on top of that,
And that's what
the
you
man
need.
shooting a league wide high true shooting percentage is like 67% or something like that. So if you don't know what it is a stat that encompasses free throw shooting, 3-point shooting, and 2-point shooting. And they do like a I don't know,
what
like
was
a
his
weighted average across it.
what was his volume? So you said 67%.
67%. And just
That's
among
high
and
because
league
you
average is
usually
like
meant to be shooting at like 30,
no,
40.
but the league average to shooting is like maybe like 50 something, like
40.
55, 56%.
Yeah.
So
So
that's a whole
if
12
there's free
percentage
throws and free
points
throws
up.
don't carry the average.
Yeah, that's a whole 12 percentage points up off the league. Like,
So
come on.
what Ravon's trying to tell you is he's an outlier, sir.
Exactly.
I know you don't need
Man,
my. I know you know he's
He
sadistic.
can't high volume shot. He can't high volume shots. You know, if it mean Jamal, Rick,
That's
and
not like an
everything.
effective player to me. I'm not again
Exactly.
for if good shots. Come on, son.
These free throws are enough. But we'll see. I still take Embiid any day over you. Any day over you. A healthy Embiid,
Fair
you
enough,
can
man.
hang. You can hang.
Fair enough. So I know we had mentioned Steph earlier, and we've mentioned that he kind of I guess had a drought recently. What are your thoughts about that? After he's broken the record, I think it's Ray Allen that had it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
what we consider a drought though, because I see Steph still scoring 25, 28 points a game and still looking effective on the court. So
Nah,
Cause it's Steph. That's why.
nah,
That's
Yeah.
why.
nah.
Steph has such a high standard rate in basketball to make it 3-point percentage.
Like,
That is actually
we expect Steph to score
percentage-wise.
30 points.
this is all fear for Steph, and Steph still killing it. So
right.
greatness of Steph, but Steph is a big time choker. I'm gonna put it out there. You know, I'm gonna put it out there.
Like, I truthfully,
He chose in big games.
At
He chose in
least-
big games.
I glad that there's somebody with the guts to say a lot of people I like Steph. I like what he has done for the game. I like how he's carried himself as an individual, etc., etc. A lot of people, I just don't think Steph Curry is a clutch player, truthfully. And generally speaking, I don't feel like he's gonna be the one to take them big shots and hit them because truthfully, the record shows that he hasn't really been that guy to to be clutch in the moments where he needs to be.
Ray
Not
Vaughn,
just-
how you saying this when Steph literally hit a game-winning shot with 2 nights ago?
but
You
that's
literally
fine.
saying this coming off the back of that.
Yes, that's fine. That's fine. That's one of the few. That is one of the few.
As a weekday game, who he playing for? Who he playing?
Truthfully, yes, that's one of the few. Like I feel like a man like LeBron,
Kyrie.
not even KD, Kyrie, them men just hit big shots at the right time. A lot of the times, Steph too, but not. I don't feel like his stature in that side of the game or that part of the game is very as strong as people would like it to be, or I think that it is. 'Cause I
Alright,
think a lot of people
but-
got a misconception about him being
Yeah.
clutch.
I agree.
But
Steph getting
understanding this though, because you gotta be in them positions more often than not to have the opportunity to prove that you could be clutch, right? So given that Golden State, when they win, don't necessarily be in clutch positions for the most part, I don't think that is fair to put on Steph that he's not a clutch shooter.
And I disagree.
Absolutely.
No. You look at it right. I agree to a certain extent. Yes, Golden State is pretty dominant, and they normally put the game to bed late by third quarter. To be honest, but the games that are close and Golden State is trailing behind or just leading, more often than not, when Steph has to make those big 3-pointers that he's normally making the whole game late in the last, I would say 4 minutes of the game, fourth quarter, He can't make that. Nowhere, a bucket nowhere to be found.
But when you got a player like Kyrie being on teams that are oftenly well matched with the opposition, that have to make them big shots, that are always in a situation where they can practice being calm, making sure they make that shot and stuff like that, then we get better at that. Eventually, that's like there's like going on a little tangent, but that's like Lewis Hamilton being in a position where he got to fight all the time. And I've heard him say in some of the interviews and stuff like that that is there's no pressure anymore. Is all easy. I've been in this situation a million times. I had no pressure on me. I just went and did what I had to do. So that's the point that I get at, right? When you're in a situation like that often and frequent, like, it's obvious you will build up that confidence and you will be more likely to hit them shots. But the man that has destroyed every team like that, like, is hard for him to have to be in that position. And if he get few and in between shots like that,
this man has been in league. This man has been in league for years.
But what he's saying is that his games aren't to the point where he has to do that. Like,
I guess that's where LeBron beat him, come back from 3-1 down, beat him when he finals. I guess he was in that position. I guess
possibly
too often.
Yeah.
Possibly. Some people call it choking, right? But others call it an experience. But me call it choking. You want a clutch? You should join clutch LeBron. They should go and do. They should go and do.
Anybody got any like other views on that? Because I feel like y'all on feeling Curry right now.
Cody, man. If you're Cody saying Cody believe in Steph, man. Me hear Cody go say, man.
I wholeheartedly agree with Hassel. Then take Hassel a little excellent argument. The man, look, whenever the game is even close in the third quarter, normally typically the Warriors come out in the fourth quarter, the first 6 minutes of that fourth quarter, and drain the baskets, then hit all the important shots beforehand. So my mind is never not never, but rarely in a position where he got hit a three with 45 seconds to go or so. It's hardly ever be the case for that. So how can we not blame the man for not being clutch if he doesn't have to be in positions to be clutch?
Yeah, man already in gear a long time.
I guess when we look at it, the greatest players, we expect more of the greater players. So when Steph has been in opportunities where he's been in a number of finals, NBA finals, and he cannot make the clutch shots when he is called upon. Is look, you know what Michael Jordan said? 73 and 9 don't mean shit if you don't, excuse my language, doesn't mean much.
All good, bro.
If you don't get the ring. The finals, what happened against Toronto? He's shaking up. 3-point
I feel like Danny Green would agree with exactly what you said. Sitting on the bench don't mean much if you don't get the ring. Like,
Danny Green made the shots for Lakers when he had to make the shots. Remember that?
Look, I can laugh you with that thought, and I can just move on from it.
Sorry, I got another point to make. Michael Jordan, after he retired from basketball, should not be heard. This man makes no proper contributions to the game of basketball since he's retired. Please never reference Michael Jordan post playing in this stream.
I can't disagree with that.
He's the second greatest player of all time. I gotta give him a little leeway.
Oh Jesus! Don't start this argument.
Pause.
Here,
No.
Let me move on.
we can get a separate show for that specific specific debate because that could go real far.
We can put a thumbtack right there and we can just let us sit there and do it thing for a little bit. But let me talk about MVP status right now. Who are the players that you guys thinking in the league right now?
Trail.
Trey?
I put my cards on the table already.
Yeah, Jokic is your guy. Mr.
Trae
Hakeem,
right? Trae Young is like the Messi of NBA basketball. The boy, yes.
What?
Listen to the analogy.
Nah, bro.
Listen.
I can't remember the man name that's played for Richard Dortmund. No, the striker.
Allen?
Yeah.
But nah, like both Trae Young and Messi.
Because he's still young.
Both Messi and Trae Young are smaller stature compared to the others. He's glide through players and just get the basket real easy and layup.
I
That's
see.
typically how Messi does move. You know what I mean?
Nimble,
He's very
agile.
correct, smooth operators. That's why I see Trae Young. Trae Young be
Right now.
facilitating. Trae Young be scoring, driving. Man's like what 6'2"? I'd be driving.
This week,
Ridiculous.
6'1".
That boy
But
looks
point
smooth.
taken though.
Yeah, from that perspective, yeah, I understand what you're saying then.
Great. So yeah, to me, Trae Young is just a very, very impressive basketball player, and he deserves a show.
Nah, I don't agree with Trae Young being there. I could agree that he playing really well this season, but the team, don't matter how well he plays, it hasn't been like
MVP status.
MVP status. They struggled a lot, man. He himself, some games he struggled to get everybody involved. But I just think that he got a big load on him, truthfully, and I feel like it's something that he wants. But so far defensively they've been struggling. Kind of, it's kind of attributed to him too. Um, I I don't know, but they've been on it here. Last season they did the same thing where they started out late with a similar record and then quit. So flip.
Yep.
Then was in the playoffs all the way down to the Eastern Conference Finals. Um,
Mm.
so I think the last game I watched with him, he was balling out, and the two games since then he was balling out. So he might be one to maybe spark some MVP thoughts once they get above 500. Um,
Yep.
so he could be there, but I want to put him. He would like be far down on the list, like number 10 or number 8, 9 on the list.
I'm a dark horse, bro. I'm a dark horse.
But I guess
He's a
Hakeem could
wild
tell
card,
us.
I guess.
Yeah, Hakeem could tell us what he's thinking.
Me, and this is some controversial bit.
Obviously, anything Kelly more the controversial.
If Lakers was in a better position, I would give LeBron. If the Lakers in a better position, but I'm a fair man.
What's crazy?
So, despite LeBron's greatness, I can't give it to the team. Not his fault only, but I'm gonna give DeMar DeRozan, Chicago Bulls. DeMar DeRozan been playing well to me. He's not a relevant
He's
team.
been playing good basketball.
Zach LaVine and Alonzo are playing well too, but DeMar he's been hitting a lot of clutch shots. He's been getting buckets at mid-range. He got a mid-range cooking.
He's been aggressive too.
DeMar is a guy. To me, DeMar is a guy.
Fair enough.
I-
I mean, I won't put him on MVP, but he's definitely in a top 10 way. Like he's been driving to the basket and stuff like that. Like, he's been aggressive on the attack. And
Bulls was in number one position for a while. Just they lost recently to the Golden State. Took some couple hours, but they're still in second, 28 and 16. They said one game behind Nets. They're looking good.
Yeah,
I want to them to be doing this well. I think that has to be really largely attributed to DeMar. Zach LaVine, of course, has been playing his role, and Lonzo's been pretty a sniper with these 3-pointers. But DeMar is a guy for me.
Oh,
my MVP kind of
Still only
injured
half
right now.
season.
So.
who's
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
KD?
Yeah, KD's my MVP, man.
It's a place
KD's
to
my
watch.
guy.
Right.
Nah, Ja
Ja
to me is the most exciting player to watch.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Because Ja's a tier head when it comes to basketball.
I tell me this man
Some
like
things
Derrick
I see this
Rose.
man do. Yeah, this man ain't easy, boy. And this man don't back down either. This man's a little terrier up on the court.
It's true.
So,
He's like 6'2",
Ja-
6'3".
yeah.
No,
I think
really
when it comes to energy and excitement, Ja's the man
Mhm.
for sure.
Why nobody ain't talking about Giannis? Like, the man with a chip. Like,
I mean, he could be there, but
it's just a matter. What
he's
would
just
call
not my
it?
MVP.
Voters fatigue. Like, the man balling out though too. Like, nobody really picking it up. The man balling out too. I'm sure he averaging 30 over the last couple of games too. Like,
My cousin was actually talking about that recently because he's from Milwaukee.
Mhm.
So Milwaukee, and he's a Bucks fan, of course. And he was saying no one is giving him Giannis's flowers.
Nah.
I
I
thought-
think people just tired of it. They know what the Bucks should do, and they're pretty much
Yeah.
doing it. So they're just coasting, and nobody
I
really paying
think, I
any
think,
mind
I
on
think
it.
people, I think some people, myself included, think the Bucks got lucky, for that chip. But hey, that's neither here nor there.
The Bucks
Then
got lucky.
A little lucky.
They
a little
been
lucky.
demolished themselves. What are you talking about?
Nets would have been there. Nets would have been in the finals. Nets would have been in the finals. I think KD's toe on our line
That
cost them.
yeah, I
If
agree.
if
Embiid
Harden
has
if
scored.
Harden and Kyrie were back, it would have been 4-love. Sweet. Get the
You
boom.
always everybody's always so, but trainers my court sometimes and they don't work.
They had they murdered them in the first 2 games.
Yeah, they did. They did destroy them in the first.
In that series, murdered them. It was like Giannis has crashing his head. I know do speaking Greek. He in trouble.
But I feel like that was the pattern for the Bucks for that whole playoff run is like they struggle to get out and then they figure out and just demolish the teams or had just gritty games from there on out. So
Yeah. But he did play well. I must admit, he did play well. I'm not going to say that from him. And they played unbelievable. But I just think they got a bit. They had a stroke of luck. Maybe it was fate, but that's why I can talk about Giannis.
I mean, to be successful in anything, you need some bit of luck or divine
Yeah.
intervention, whichever.
I guess
to explain it.
people forget to talk about luck when it comes to Golden State because they had a lot of luck when they beat LeBron the first go around. Kyrie, no one talks about it. No one talks about it. So those things that go on forgotten.
I know you're saying that as a cheeky comment, but in all honesty, it's a very cheeky comment. You know what you're trying to say there, but truthfully, like they were lucky for a long time. Like they had all their guys healthy most of the time. Yeah, all their guys healthy most of the time.
Thank you, sir.
But that's part of luck. Like you need that luck to go your way to become to get to the top sometimes. Like most of the time rather. So they just had it for an extended period of time. And it is what it is.
Yeah. Well, that's it, people, from the first segment. We're going to come back and talk about players who've come back into the league and their impact on their teams. And yeah, stay tuned for more. We'll be back in just a few. but come back from late, be back again. So those two individuals that we were talking about before we went on break was Kyrie and Klay Thompson. No, Klay Thompson was out on injury, but Kyrie was out based on the COVID-19 protocols that was, I guess, instated in New York, and they're back playing. So, what are you guys' thoughts on how Kyrie was able to, I guess, blend back in with the team and his quick adaptability to, playing? Well, he played a few games with KD on before KD got injured, and
Right.
he had to continue without KD. How do you guys think he adapted to the situation?
I think that Kyrie is a hooper, and Hooper is gonna hoop. And I think for the time he came back, he he just showed that like he didn't score that much of a points, but he was just Kyrie is a show within itself when he's on the basketball court. I know Ja Morant is that, so you think he's electric, but
Yeah,
like there's a sense of beauty when you see Kyrie just dribbling on the court. Everything just looks beautiful. I don't know what else to say, truthfully, but
that's fair.
and then
That's
the man
fair.
just get us buckets like at ease, at will, like things that
Yeah,
you would think that like you would like, how did he, what? So anytime, any chance
them
you get to see
handles
Kyrie
crazy.
play, yeah, you
Yeah,
gotta enjoy it. Um, I feel like he stayed ready, like, and it's something that he said when I watched his live. He's gonna stay ready, um, for whenever something opportunity presents so that he could play. Um, I from the Nets perspective though, I feel like it just seems so sad that they met such a grand stand to say, well, he can't play, etc. If you can be a part-time player, but still had to fall back on it at the end, it's a little bit
yeah,
a little bit embarrassing on their part to me. But let me care because the man out there, the man hooping,
yeah.
and he helping
About
them get
making it
some more
happen.
rings exactly.
Yeah,
So
I think they're considering certain things in order to keep him on the court as well. So
yeah,
Yeah, like
definitely,
paying
yeah.
fines, etc.
But the thing about
yeah.
that, you think about that, that's a little bit tough because I feel like that got a bigger precedent on or impact on how the public perceives the whole COVID situation because it's like everybody knows and usually it's the case that big organizations can get away with stuff and if they go ahead and do that then that's not going to set a good look for the city and for the team on a whole, like
But I
setting a
mean,
bad example to a certain extent.
but then willing to take the punishment.
Yeah,
It
but
seems like so.
I mean, but they're the employer at the end of the day. It's a different perspective coming from the employee.
yeah,
When you're because you can't work unless you have the vaccine. But
Yeah,
but
but is NBA too that kind of got some kind of say in it
yeah.
because if them allow the Nets to do that, then that's at them as well.
Yeah, because like them,
So
that's setting a bad precedent for other teams, no. So other teams
yeah,
know when other states, I think they say that they want players to be fully vaccinated to be a part of the team. Then well they can say, oh well, let's just pay the fines accordingly for Kyrie. So I could just do the same thing too. And I don't think that's what
I guess
yeah,
mhm.
I don't think that's what the NBA wants.
I feel like
that's fair.
they're in a predicament where this 10-day, we call them 10-day hardship
Yeah,
contracts,
yeah,
came about because the vaccinated players will still get COVID and still, health and safety protocol. So they might as well bring back Kyrie because, the players still get COVID.
Lack of players, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
that and
for the
they lack
most
of
part,
players
man.
but it happened. And there's a reason. The whole point of the NBA to
it's
get
not to shut it down, basically.
you're not shut down. It has to
Yeah,
continue. But the reason they made it mandatory for players to get the vaccine was to avoid having the NBA to come to this point to shut down. But inevitably, there still was in players were still getting COVID and still going in protocol, health and safety, and quarantine. So they still ended up having what? Bring back Kyrie. The Nets were losing players. They were bringing players from the G League, still getting COVID. They needed quality players to get the wins. That's the only reason why they went back in the word. They needed the wins, and they had a lack of players at their disposal.
Yeah.
okay,
And
so
if you got a
given
star
all
player
the
at his disposal, such as Kyrie, why not choose it? Why not let him play?
yeah, yeah, that's the thing. So like bringing this all back to my initial question, like how you guys think he blended in with the team
Blending well.
despite the rules and
They,
stuff like
they
that.
blended it. He blended to me. Curry blended it well. The team clearly wanted him back. The team was like happy to have him back, especially KD. golly, they needed
Yeah.
to get buckets other than KD. KD has been asked to do what certain players have done all their life. I won't name any, mention any names, but he's been asked to score, rebound, assist, bring the ball. The historically great players. He's been asked to do this for the first time in his life. He
But
did
that's
it
not the
quite.
first time that he had to do that because
He did it quite well.
wasn't
But do everything like this for such a long period of time.
when KD was at OKC, he had a season where Westbrook was injured. I mean, he had James Harden and other decent players there.
Ah,
But the same could be said. James Harden is the same man that was with KD for this time. What do you have?
Yeah.
but James Harden is not playing at the moment. That's why KD is. That's why KD. That's why they had to bring back Curry. But KD was point guard. He was a small forward. He was everything. KD is getting exhausted. They know it's not sustainable. KD is playing very high minutes. They know it's not sustainable.
Yeah,
To play
he
that.
wasn't
Those high
sustainable.
minutes. Exactly. They need to bring back another easy load, or he's gonna be tired in the in playoffs.
But this not. I just let you know this is not the first time KD had to back a team. Just point out
So
that
long.
year that he made the MVP, that was the year that Westbrook was out and he was backpacking. He was doing everything. You see him.
James Harden was the team.
Oh, hey, but James Harden wasn't the James Harden that we know. No, James Harden was a six-man player. Like, come on. This is not the first time. But I
At such a
glad
high
that
level,
he
then.
came back. I glad that he
You got
came
any
back.
thoughts on? You got any thoughts, Cody? Are you?
I just dumbfounded by this Braun sexual here that keeps referencing LeBron in every conversation.
Yeah, must find somewhere to weave Braun back in.
But I ain't calling names. I ain't calling any names.
Yeah, but we know who you're
Yeah,
referring to.
you already know.
Who think you know, man?
This man is
What about
like
Klay Thompson though?
this man is like
Yes,
reverse.
sir. You want to say something?
No, we're just gonna say he's reverse Skip Bayless.
Yeah.
Skip Bayless is playing anything to talk with LeBron in a negative way. How can you play any way to talk with LeBron in a positive way?
That's right.
That should be
what
your new
about
tag.
Klay
Reverse
Thompson?
Skip Bayless.
Yeah, but Hassel, I was more waiting for the Clay Thompson part because Clay just was like a real heartwarming story, really, truly 2.5 years old, then to come back and still hitting baskets. Obviously not as effective because gotta get back into the rhythm of playing at this high level and high pace. But that was really the story that I really wanted to see come in. It was early January that we had seen him back, or just late December. I can't remember which it was.
Early January. I think it was early January.
Early January. Yeah, so that was a great
After
year.
Christmas game, we know for sure.
After Christmas, yeah. So yeah, Kyrie, I really had nothing to say about Kyrie. I had a lot of talk with Kyrie from episode 1, the Astro Rules. I ain't coming back and saying no boy, so gotta switch up. You know what I mean? So I can just stay quiet on that one. But yeah, see Clay back, see Clay hitting trees of Steph back to back too. That just brings about so many good memories in 2015. Yeah,
That's nice.
One could say that Clay coming back has offset stats rhythm, and it's causing the team to get some L's.
I was actually thinking about that. I mean, like
They're trying to get Clay back into
did
it.
it change the dynamic of the way the team was playing and stuff like that? Having to include Clay to get him back up to speed to his abilities
I can't
and
say
stuff.
that.
And it's affecting Jordan Poole too. Think about it. It can't be any coincidence.
About it, I was gonna say that was a
as
reason.
Clay came back, as Clay came back, they start losing more games. It can't be a coincidence. They're trying to get him into the rhythm of it. He's not playing high minutes, but they're trying to get him back into the rhythm.
Steph Curry is shooting bad. I think it's
And
you know what everybody missing? Draymond ain't even playing. When's the last time Draymond played? Like that's the biggest piece of everything. First of all, them had a top tier defense. The defense is still okay, but Draymond is that guy that is really putting them over the top. People just forget that Draymond isn't playing and Steph is shooting bad. That is the reason why they've been losing so many games. Yes, Clay Thompson came back. He needs to get integrated in the offense, but the Warriors offense has been the Warriors offense since 2014, 2015, for the time Steve Kerr was there. They played basically the same way. They instill all the same disciplines into the new players. So it's not about necessarily integrate. Clay Thompson know the system. Everybody else know the system. So it's Steph shooting.
But he's not.
Yeah, but is it a different playing
not getting
style
buckets.
when Clay's on the court to when he's not on the court? And because I mean,
It's
when you
similar
start
playing
a
style.
season, right? Wait. When you start a season with a group of guys, you start to get into the rhythm of things, right? And when you start like switching up things a little bit, it can offset that rhythm. However little or how great it might do it, but I'm not saying that Clay is the reason for that.
Right.
But I could get the angle that Hakim coming at. Like when you start switching up things to get people, it's like a new unit almost that they're trying to put together in a sense. And I think that that could be a factor in the rhythm that the Golden State Warriors um, game right now. To be honest,
Yeah. I just want to know like why Draymond isn't spoken about a more of a high regard. It's because he's on both breather or something that people don't talk with him. Man.
I feel like people do recognize his contribution to the Golden State greatly. I think the problem with that is that some people will say that Draymond is the ultimate role player. That in a different system he might not be as effective. When you look, but I point and the way he brings the Golden State is phenomenal. He's like the nucleus for that team. He's like the energy soul. He's like the defender from terms of protecting his players, protecting his staff. He's the enforcer, I should say, protecting staff, protecting play. He's that guy. He's the trash talk of the team for what you see. When he was there, he could trash talk, but Draymond is that trash talk. He's gonna call out anybody. No one's above being called up by Draymond. And some teams you say some players, you can't talk to them, you can't talk to them, but Draymond's gonna no matter who you are, he's gonna say that, bro, you gotta give more, you gotta do better, you gotta step up, you should be defending, you shouldn't give up on that play. And that's Draymond. He's a leader. He's the team in my opinion.
But what I got to do with people giving him his props for his performance?
No, but
don't give him his prop because he doesn't get a lot of buckets, he doesn't get a lot of points, and he's not a big assister, he's not a big rebounder, he doesn't contribute statistically in those categories in any.
So you saying no that
his contribution is intangibles for the most part, and he gets a good night every now and then, but you can't measure what he's like Marcus Smart. You can't fully measure what he brings to the team.
So basically people does more focus on getting points and the offensive side of things than
intangibles.
Okay.
Defense is important too, but defense is not ever get as much
statistical value. That's the best way to put it. Yeah.
We can transition into the so-called flagrant that was between Alex Caruso and your boy Grayson Allen. I don't know if everybody had a chance to see it, but
you got a chance?
I can reserve my views.
Not as yet. We'll see if we can see it.
Yeah, that's cool.
So
put it up for the chat, so for the viewers to see.
Let's do that. Cody, your thoughts on that? Like, was it a good call? Was the punishment fitting?
I don't understand why introduce that as a so-called flagrant, because to me that was that was clear as day. I mean, in like Meta World Peace swing out some boy head, but it was something
I guess I meant like I don't know, like Raymond, I think you can help me on this, but is it like different types of flagrant fouls that could, I guess, exist in the game?
Yes, it got flagrant 1 and flagrant 2.
Yeah, and
right. So his was deemed a flagrant 2.
Which
right? But should it have been a flagrant 1 or
Nah,
I guess that's what I was trying to get.
Nah, I think flagrant 2 was warranted for the play. It was a really, really hard foul, truthfully. A lot of people are saying that he had malintention about it. Yes, in the sense that he wanted to stop the guy from scoring, Alex Caruso from scoring, at all costs. But I don't think it was like, let me see. It's hard to describe it because yes, there's purpose behind him trying to foul him hard, but I don't think he wanted him to end up breaking his wrist like that or anything. So I don't see it. For me, his eyes looked like he were trying to actually get the ball. He missed, and he just pulled him on his hand to commit the foul to stop the layup. That's how I see it.
I see a different thing though. To be honest,
I just watched it and look at it. To me, I would get a flagrant too. Even no one intends to. Well, most people don't intend to break someone. He wouldn't intend to break his wrist.
Yeah.
He hit him with both hands. He hit him with the left hand on his wrist, missed the whole ball, and then still hit him with his right hand on his again while he's in midair.
Yeah.
That's irresponsible. That
Yeah, it
is
is.
Man, it gotta be
irresponsible.
deeper. Man, you gotta see it deeper than that, though. Like,
It's reckless. Sometimes you can't help a player while they already left the ground. You can expect injuries in some form or fashion. And he didn't hit him with one hand. He hit him with both, and he had time to just pass. Equals right, equal left. What's he on? That's
I see
ridiculous.
it a little bit different, but I don't discount the flagrant two call. What I saw, in my opinion, was that, well, it's not really in my opinion, but what I saw from the replay is that he went to block with the left hand first. Like you said, he missed completely, granted, but his hand got hooked in Caruso's hand, and that caused him to maintain contact with Caruso well in the air. So that momentum that he had coming across Caruso drive, right? That caused him to like pull him down because his hand was still hooked.
Yeah.
And while doing that, he tried to stop it with his right hand as well because he was still in the air. So I guess in that split second, he thought, well, I could probably tap it out from behind, and he swung, and that helped to pull Caruso down. No, obviously, um, that's horrible. Like it was a very hard crash, and tough luck to Caruso. I hope he gets well soon. But I don't see it as intentful in terms of wanting to hurt Caruso, like Ravon was saying. But I just say that you got to mention what actually happened so that you can explain to people why it was not like malintent for the foul.
Right.
Yeah, it can't do that.
So before you go though, before you start Hakeem, just to add on top of that, the reason to why a lot of people are saying that it is it is definitely malintent is because Grayson Allen has had histories of this from the time he was at college. He was
Really?
he was infamous for tripping players intentionally all the time. And he came into the league with that stigma. He didn't really get into any issues like that, but because of that history that he has, and because of that foul, because it was you could see that he wanted to foul him. Um, they think that it is definitely a case where he intended to make sure that Caruso was hurt because of that history, and I can understand that reasoning, and that you know the 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 ambiguity behind the thought that it could be something that was not super intentional in the sense that he wanted to hurt him, but uh, I personally don't see it as he set out to hurt him in in such a way.
Yep.
That's right. Anything to add, Cody?
Now I just want to say, like, what do you want people to know? When a dog to suck eggs, when the eggs get sucked, is expected as a dog. So you seem personal here for
What?
Yeah, it makes sense.
People too young to probably know that saying.
Yeah, we're doing already.
But yeah, so yeah, I just totally agree with one point there.
That's fair. So we can close off the show with the predictions. Now, last time out, we had some crazy games going because there was a lot of games playing on Christmas Day and before Christmas that we had some votes on. Cody wasn't here live with us, but we got his votes in as well. Hakeem was gifted this 2 point bonus per each correct vote he got, so that helped him to get up the ladder as well. And we had what 12 points for everyone in the lead.
Yeah.
Then we got Cody in second with 11, myself in 10th, and then Hakim's in 8th. So before we move on to our predictions, pardon?
No, you were saying 10. You had 10.
Oh yeah, 10, yeah.
Yeah,
I have
you got
10.
10. Yeah.
my bad, thanks.
No problem.
So yeah, before we predict what's gonna happen this week, thanks Hakim for reminding me. We actually missed one of the points that we wanted to touch on, which was the whole Lakers situation right now and the possible trade that could be coming up for Lakers in when it is like February-ish.
Yeah, the deadline is February 10th.
Yeah, February. So yeah, what are your thoughts on that, Hakim? Because I know you were itching to get at this one for sure. So
my thoughts are you have to trade Russell. West. He has to go. I think LeBron has tried his best to make it work. Despite LeBron is great. I know what you hear laughing, right? But LeBron is great at making it work with players. He's good at finding players, sometimes so-called rejects, and piece them together to form a championship caliber team.
Hey, yo, when's the last time that man do that?
Lakers
been struggling for years.
2 years ago, I mean,
in the
they
bubble,
they already chipped 2 years ago.
Yeah.
He got some chips. He got four to be size. Just that's 4. So, but Westbrook. So, and as LeBron is playing at a great level right now, averaging 30 points per game is I think last 10 or 15 games, they're still losing. Westbrook is playing at the worst team he's ever played. He's a turnover machine. He's inefficient. The amount of bad shots he chooses to take, he can't even get proper assists. And I think his work rate is incredible, but he's working too hard. He has to try to to slow down the pace of the game. You think more methodically and how he's going to break down the opposing team defense. But in my opinion, he got to go. They got to trade. I would take Ben Simmons at this point. Simmons is a good man. Taking Ben Simmons. I would take Ben Simmons to be honest.
That
Straight
don't
up.
make no sense. How can you taking somebody
Ben is a Ben. First thing, Ben is a way better defender. So Westbrook is not. Lakers' problem right now is defense. Ben is a better on-ball defender, perimeter defender, all around. He's not a big post player, but he can ball. He can play in the paint, of course. And he's 6'10". He can rebound the ball just as effective as Westbrook. And he's a much better point guard, holistically speaking. No, yes, he has his problems, his free throw demons, but you don't have to give Ben the ball in the fourth quarter. Let's be real. Braun could come up the ball in the fourth quarter. Malik Monk, then Kendrick Nunn, we get back Kendrick Nunn a bit. But the point is, Ben doesn't have to be the point guard in the fourth quarter. He could play as more power forward, small forward. But Ben, right now, in terms of value, I would trade Ben Simmons and maybe a draft pick. Or just take Ben straight up. I would take Ben. I think Ben is a way better player now that we need Westbrook. Hands down. Plus, we're a small team. We need a little more height.
You know if Ben was active or not?
Pardon?
You know if Ben was active or not? Just asking.
He's a professional player. I'm pretty sure he's not on his couch eating TV, eating pizza, watching TV. He gotta be at home training, eating in the gym. He's doing it, putting in his work.
Oh, you're hoping? Okay, that's fair.
Putting his work. Look at Curry. Curry put in his work. Man is not going to waste his time eating food and getting big. He's going to put in the work. So when he gets that call up, don't forget, he's a clutch can't too, No, they don't. He's a clutch can't.
Clutch clan.
Yeah, clutch clan. Clutch clan.
Everything's a clutch clan, no.
Clutch clan.
It's a clutch clan.
We're spot on him.
It's a clutch clan. So.
It's gonna be good if it's a clutch clan.
Hakeem, I agree. I feel like Westbrook needs to be traded, but I gotta step back though. Holy hell, Westbrook ended there in the first place. Who would have in the logical mind?
Better one bring it full circle, 360.
Yeah, Westbrook would have worked with LeBron and AD. Like that was the whole hullabaloo when it first happened. Like, oh, that makes sense. You could have gone and get somebody like Buddy Hield to help you split up the floor. Make the driving lanes open up for LeBron, which is where he's at, driving to the basket, so that it could be a better team holistically. But you might get Westbrook that struggle for free. That the only way that he could excel is what's it called? Is by driving to the basket, essentially also to the men on the perimeter that doing the same thing. That don't make sense. That
never
make
did.
Sense.
It was never a good trade. But I guess
so. Where you can put Westbrook? Where would he fit? What team would he be good in right now?
Send it to the San Antonio. Send it to the Kings because that's really career day.
Yeah,
career done. Send it to the Kings. Go and play with Tristan. We need Tristan Thompson. That boy I can't play basketball either. He needs to retire. Next.
That's right. Hakeem, what would you do with Westbrook right now? Other than trade him, like where would he go?
Or send it to Knicks.
Other than Philadelphia?
It's why I hate the Knicks here.
I have heard honestly, but the thing, right, is more than just it's more than just trading for players at this point in time. I think he's owed it for $4 million for this year and for $7 million next year. So it has to be a player or players that can match that salary cap. So right now, no one really wants him for the most part, but I've heard Rockets are willing to take him and trade John Wall, which to me is a fair trade. No,
What?
John Wall's not played for quite some bit, yes, but historically John Wall is still a more efficient player than Westbrook. He's typically a better shooter than Westbrook as well too. So we've not seen John Wall play as often, but I think at this point anything is better than nothing.
John
You know,
Wall,
Where what
John
you got
Wall,
saying this year?
John Wall and Westbrook skill sets are pretty much the same.
That's yeah.
The same. Drive to the basket, I can blow by you, get to the basket, get a bucket like that. They both
Mhm.
high assist guys that distributes the ball when they have the freedom to do so, and pretty much the same. Like John Wall is not a 3 point threat. I did watch a video where he was talking about how he worked on it before he came back. I think and when he did come back, it was just the same John Wall from 2013, 2012, but at a diminished level because he didn't have the speed as he did before. So I can't see John Wall being any. Well, yes, it might be better in terms of mindset because I feel like Russell Westbrook is so stubborn. I don't care what anybody tell me. I don't know why everybody say like he is who he is. Like Big Man is a big man. You could adjust your game to play with other people. Like what the hell? Like come on, he's a big man. You've been in the league for however long, but he's one person that needs to have his own team that he could carry because that's how he's played and that's how he would like to play
Kings.
and that's how he's what he's always saying any at the end of the day. He has not been able to adjust as he need to around LeBron and I agree that it's time for him to go, but not for John Wall, bro. Like
I mean, ideally to me it's still Ben Simmons, ideally,
I
right?
mean there will be a 3 team trade, but who want John Wall right now? I don't see what the Sixers would want John
John
Wall.
John Wall
The man,
John Wall's a
the man
hell
sound
of
like he
John. Put some
whispering. The
some
man trying to
respect. Put
touch
some
his
respect
soul. The
on
man,
John Wall name.
like, come on, Hakeem, please.
John Wall's still a top player. No, he's in a bad situation. The Rockets where they want to go in a different direction. He's injured. They just want to take him in a different. They want to take the team in a different direction. Restart, revamp, restructure. I start for this young core that they have and get them the experience and build. John Wall is obviously in the order range. He's not an old player, but John Wall probably still with 30, probably early 30s, late 20s. So I mean, he's
I
still
think
more.
what we're trying to say is that if you're doing this trade, it ain't gonna make sense because it's one man for the same man, basically.
Yeah.
So
John Wall is way more efficient than Russell.
And we don't
yeah,
know
but if
that.
the style of play is
John
the
Wall is still a
issue,
John Wall. It's not his style of play. Is if Westbrook was playing the same he's playing, but at least scoring, it'd be much better. He doesn't even assist. Like Westbrook assists are poor. He
so
doesn't
Hakeem,
wait,
half
so how you could assume that John Wall will bring the same
exactly how you know we
histor-
right now
histor-
John was a question
historically
mark.
speaking. Historically speaking, John Wall is better. No, you might. Well, sorry.
You
In terms
can't
of
say that. You
sorry,
can't say.
in terms of skill set. No, in terms of statistics, Russ is the man. But
right? So why would you choose John Wall then?
because if you watch the games, the way Russ gets his builds his stats is he is almost meaningless. You know, someone can get easy 20 points, but he's not really contributing much. If you get 20 points, but you took 20 shots. Yeah, you got 20 points, but you took 20 shots. That's highly inefficient. So it's like, and his assists are not impactful. Impactful assists like you drive to the basket, you pass the ball for somebody. Somebody get the ball and do a layup, do a dunk. It's not like he's splitting defense, reading defense, calling screens, doing anything that the whole CP3 does it. He's just like he charges to the paint and dish out the ball last minute. Someone gets it, and that's how he gets his assists majority of times. He's not having impactful assists. Joe, the risk of the owner right now maybe greater than the risk of the known. The risk of the known is Lakers are not going to win with Russell Westbrook. They need to get him out of there, ship him out.
I guess for the most part, we'll have to agree to disagree. Running short on time, so we can wrap it up right now. Our predictions for the week. Right, you want to start us off? Lakers versus Sixers.
I got the
I
Sixers
think
right now. There's no way that I
yeah,
could pick
I think that
the
there's an easy
Lakers.
one. Yeah.
But the thing about it is, AD coming back. I ain't for sure. I don't know if he can be back for that game. But
And he should-
I gotta go with the Sixers and Embiid on a tier, and I don't see it stopping right now. I don't. The Lakers has been horrible on defense. I don't see anybody stopping Embiid. I feel like Embiid can shoot like 20 free throws because the Lakers can be so bad trying to keep people in front of them. They can be falling Embiid all the time. Then we got the bodies. Maybe DeAndre Jordan might guard him. I don't know, but I could take any Sixers. Tobias Harris still on the Sixers. Don't forget he could heat up too. Sixers all day.
It's fair. Cody?
I want
Yeah, I just want to make one more point on the Westbrook thing. If Westbrook had a normal job, that boy wasn't even making it past probation. Okay, anyway, yeah, 76ers. Embiid, that's still within the 15 game window that get Embiid to be on the hot streak. So Sixers all day.
I knew that was coming. I was like, yeah, he already said that he'd give me a couple more games to be hot, and then he gone through. Anyways, Hakeem, anything from you?
much as it pains me to say this. I'm gonna have to go 36ers. I don't think LeBron
It's not gonna get some. Oh my God,
LeBron
Hakeem.
can't do it by himself. He needs some help.
This is unprecedented.
Yeah, this is crazy.
Until we get Westbrook.
It's a new year for real.
I'm in it to win, you know. I'm in it to win. And Westbrook isn't in it to win. So I go with Sixers.
Wrong
Yeah,
way.
man. I guess it's a unanimous decision on that front because there's no way I going with Lakers right now. So 76ers is it?
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's funny.
Yeah.
When it comes to these predictions, that's the time that the Lakers and come any match.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, everybody will lose,
Yeah.
I guess. Then we got this game on Friday. Utah Jazz versus Memphis Grizzlies.
Got Ja.
Yeah, got a good job.
You want to see you got Grizzlies. You want to see you got Jazz.
Yeah.
That's fair. Rayvon, I know that you had choose Jazz a time, and you were the only person that was right on that call. So, who you going with this time?
I'd like to go back with them. I mean, this ain't gonna make the predictions fun, but I here to win too. So right now the Grizzlies on a different level. The Jazz sucking it up to the maximum. I don't know what game to them. Actually, I think it's a case where they're not hitting their shots, and their whole offense is predicated on them hitting 3-point shots. So
Yeah.
and when they off them offense don't be on, and Donovan Mitchell gotta be even greater than he needs to be to carry them on offense when they ain't got nothing going. And I don't think his carry potential could take them over the hump with Memphis at home. So unfortunately I got to pick the Jazz. I mean the Grizzlies. Yeah. So that's it for me.
I guess you guys already know that I'm a Jazz fan, so you know that right now. Well, based on how they're playing it as well. Like I didn't know too much about the Jazz, but I feel like once Ja Morant is in man in form, that Memphis would do really well.
Yeah.
So, if anybody lose, everybody lose. So
It's true.
this is one of those weeks. I've had fun here with you guys chopping it up. It's been a while, so I'm excited to start it back, and we're off to a good start, in my opinion. Any last thoughts from you guys before we sign out?
Not just glad to be back here, just as you said. You know, it's always a fun time when we get on the stream. Good laughs, good banter. So excited to see how the next streams go. Looking forward for more people to come out and watch the stream because it's going to be a blast. So we hated that you miss it, but just excited for the next ones to come.
Facts. Anything from you, Cody?
Not on this. I just want to talk about the West Indies team being the worst people to try and back with this. They got 9 balls to try and score 35 runs, so very unlikely.
That's not impossible, though.
It's not impossible.
It's not impossible,
but Carlos has done it before. Carlos has done it before. Carlos Barfett done something similar before.
Sure.
Come on,
we talk about luck today, right? We talk about luck today.
Yeah.
It goes.
West Indies can definitely need a lot. Any last words from you, Hakeem?
So just looking forward to doing more streams with you guys. Look out for Ben Simmons getting traded.
gotta say you got add on the part you really want to add on to the Lakers. That's what you're saying.
Huh?
You
Oh,
want
to
to
the
add on?
Lakers, to the Lakers, to the Lakers. LA, Rich Paul.
That's fair, man. That's fair. Like, yo, it's been a blast this week. Hope to see you guys next week. I'm definitely looking forward to that. Hope to see you people watching. Thanks for joining us this week. It's been a pleasure once again sharing the screen with you guys. And yeah, it's Astro Bro signing out, people. Have